Hello and welcome to Paper Plays Julie K.
Welcome everyone, and thank you so much for stopping by to check out my latest video. And today I'm here with another episode of the hashtag Little Bits of Lace 2024, hosted by Cori Dahmen. Again, I will have Cori Dahmen's video listed below in the description box if you open that up. And then of course, make sure you guys check out YouTube by using the hashtag Little Bits of Lace 2024 to see what everyone else is up to. And today I thought it would be fun to use up some of my little bits of lace and create some lace sampler cards. They've been around for a while, and I recently purchased this fun little rubber stamp set from Tailor-Made Journals from Creative Expressions. And if anyone hasn't gotten this yet and you're in the US, I did find mine at scrapbook.com, just so you guys know if you want to order one. And you can also purchase digitals. There are a couple that I know out there, and I have some of them, and I'll be playing with some of them. Lisa and Olive on Etsy. Sam Poole has a couple that are like thrown into some of her other kits. And also Old Asina, which this one's Old Asina's, Anne's. And I think I have all three ladies portrayed that have the Etsy stores. So if I remember, I'll try to link the Etsy stores. But they're just lace sampler cards. And so this first one, what I did is I did use the stamps from Tailor-Made Journals. And I stamped this bit larger one right here. And then I also used this one right here. And what I like about this set is you can stamp it on whatever type of paper you want to match your project, versus the ones that you purchase on Etsy. And so you can kind of see I made this one a little bit larger. I had a larger piece of paper that I stamped on. So I stamped this main image, and then I went up a little ways and I folded over the top of the paper, and I stamped this, but I also added backing paper to it also, because this was just one-sided scrapbooking paper, and it's from a Hobby Lobby pad. And then I also went around and inked the edges. I used Victorian Velvet Distress ink. I did all that off camera. And then I went through my stash of little bits of lace. And again, for me, I'm defining my little bits of lace as anything that's 12 inches or under. And so I did already kind of pull out lace just to make the videos go faster, but I just thought we could do a few together. And then I'm going to decorate them a little bit, I think, on the tops. So I do have my hot glue gun. And then you're also going to use a stapler to staple in your little bits of lace. So again, this first one was one that I stamped. And so I picked out in my scrap lace, I had this really pretty kind of sheer lace with some embroidery on it. And I thought that was just gorgeous. So I was going to add that. I have some vintage lace. And so I thought I would also add that on here. And then I had this little bit left over from some sort of past project. That's gorgeous. And so I thought these three would pair nicely. And of course on these you can do one or two or three, whatever you want, or as many layers as you want. And you just layer them up however, whatever pleases you, I guess. And so they're quite easy. Then you're just going to take your stapler and you're just going to staple them in. So you just want to make sure that you hit all of the laces. So I'm just going to staple it the one time. And what's nice about these is they're great for handing out for Happy Mail. If you wanted to hand out some little scraps or snippets of lace to a friend. But I think you can also easily use them in your journals as like journaling cards. This one I chose to stamp on this side. Most of the time, the true lace samplers, I think, have their images on the back. But this one I thought you could turn it over and then you could journal on the back if you were to put it into your journal as a journal card. And so if I was to do that, I would probably also choose to glue down something over the back of the staple, just so that it doesn't snag on my journal. So I probably will do that on the back side of this one, put some sort of decorative thing. But I just thought too real quick we could just add, you know, using some of my little snippets of lace. I just got to find the scissors here. I think we could just layer just something here in the corner of all of them just to use up. Again, some more of my little scraps of lace. I have this pretty little lace right here, and I'm thinking that might look pretty right there, so I'm just going to cut this one down. And then I might put a little bit of eyelash trim in there. You could also use cheesecloth, put a little tulle, something like that. So I'm going to go ahead and glue these down. If my glue gun's ready to go here, let's see. And so there is the first one done. So again, kind of a quick, easy little project. So here is my second one that I'm doing, and this one I think is from Old Asina, the lace sampler card. And so this one, when it prints off and it looks very much like this, and it looks like I forgot to ink my edges on this one on the back side, so I'm just going to do that real quick a little bit. So I guess getting back to my point, I don't think I finished my thought, so sorry about that. But when they print off like this, and so then you would just fold it over to this side, and this side of course was white because I chose not to print anything on the back side, except I did go ahead and glue down some leftover scrapbooking paper just so that there was some color there. And again, this one was nice just because you can actually journal on the back side, but I think this is light enough that you could also journal right here, so it'd be perfect for a junk journal. And so again, I just went through my little bits of lace and I chose that lace. And I'm not sure, I think I'll turn that light off. I think it might be a little bit easier for you guys to see with that light off. I have this bit of vintage lace that I'm going to put down, and then here was a sample of some kind of trim, and this one I might choose to just push down a little bit because I'm just again going to put my staple down here. I just want to see as much of that flower as I can on this one. So there's that one, and I have this little remnant. I think the next card that we're going to make together, I'm actually using some of this lace, but I cut it down. So I think I'm just going to put that one up here. And I'm just trying to see what I want to put behind it again. So I have some tulle, some netting. So I think I'm going to put that behind it. And again, I like my eyelash trim, so I'm going to put that down behind there also. So there's what that one looks like. Kind of a fun one. Then here's another one that I stamped using those Creative Expression stamps from Tailor Made Journals. And again, just very similar to the last one, I just covered the backside with scrapbooking paper, and I tried to use it, make it as light as possible so I could use it for a junk journal. And on this one, I'm going to add this pretty piece of lace from my stash. I have some of this vintage trim that was left over from something. So I'm going to add that one also. And this one had some natural staining on it, so I'm going to try to hide that. I don't think it's going to show up on the camera, but I can see it. So I'm just going to try and hide that one up towards the top, because then you won't be able to see it. I have this leftover bit of lace. I'm also going to add that. And then here's that one that had those little pink flowers on it. This one I think is an insertion lace where you're supposed to insert some sort of ribbon in it. But I just think it's kind of pretty, so I'm going to add that one also to my little lace sampler card here. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and just show you all the other ones and assemble them, and then I'll come back and kind of mass produce the decorative stuff on the top of them. Here is another one from one of the digitals that I had. And then again, on the inside, I just put a little scrapbooking paper. I layered on some lace. I think this one's a vintage lace also. I think I got that one from Lavish Laces maybe. And then here's kind of a fun little lace trim with flowers on it. I tried to pick out the laces that I really liked or thought would look pretty underneath these. So there's that one done. This one I just decided to do, I think this one might be Sam Poole's. And then I covered it again with scrapbooking paper on this side. And I have this pretty little remnant of some lace that I had. It shimmers in person. I used it on one of my Christmas trees, those little Christmas craft cone trees this year. And so this was just a remnant left from that project. And then again, here was a piece of lace left over from one of my design team projects. It's like a cotton lace. This one I'm having a tough time seeing what side's the front. I think this is supposed to be the front side. And so I thought this one would be kind of a fun, pretty one to do. Like I said, this is an easy project to mass produce if you're in the mood to mass produce craft supplies. So here's another one. That's what the digital looks like. And again, just some remnants of different laces that I'm going to put down. Here's some like bridal trim type lace with some beading on it that's really pretty. There's that one. I think this one was from Lisa and Olive, the digital company. It's a pretty little one. It looks like I need to ink the back of this one too. Thought I did better than that. I meant to do that on all of them before I started recording, but I must have missed a couple. And for this one, I chose this pretty piece of lace. Also this little vintage trim that I had left over from something. And then another little like applique lace type thing. I just think that's kind of pretty when you put those on top. Makes a nice little sampler, lace sampler. And we'll go ahead and staple that one. So the next one that I pulled out is a little bit different style. And I can't remember which of the digitals who this one came from. But again, all three, the only ones I used for digitals were from Lisa and Olive, Sam Poole, and Oldacina. And I think Oldacina and Lisa and Olive, the digitals were just specifically geared to lace samplers. And then the Sam Poole one was in some other kit, the couple that I had. And so this one was interesting because you can just put little pieces this way, and then I was going to put one the long way on this one. And again, I'm just going to use my stapler. This one I might have to trim down just a little bit. And I have this fun little trim right here to also attach. And I have this pretty little piece of lace. I know this lace I got from my mom's neighbor, Joanne. She lived in Italy for a while, and this is one of the pieces that she picked up when she lived with Italy. Again, this one's an insertion lace where you have to like insert like a ribbon into it. And then I had this other vintage little snippet left over from something of a vintage lace. This one, it looks like I should trim that one down just a little bit to make it fit a little better. So there's what that one looks like. And then I have one last one, just another little different style. And this is how this one printed off. And I folded it over. And I'm just going to use this one more as like a topper. And so this one I did decide to do some material in the back. I have this pretty lace right here. Also this one with the flowers. And then some more of that Italian lace that I had showed you before. I know Joanne had gifted me like 10 yards of it, so every once in a while I take out a little bit of it and use, and then I have little bits left over when I cut things down for my projects. So just save it for little projects like this. I think it turns out really pretty. And so this one's more like I said, just kind of a topper without the backing on it. And so this one I'm going to just put a little bit of staple right there. And so that's what that one looks like. So now we just have these few to decorate real quick. So I think I'm just going to lay them out, and hopefully I can get most of them on camera here. Otherwise we'll just do it in sets of, we'll decorate these and then we'll decorate these ones over here. So let's decorate these 3 first real quick. So again, I'm just trying to use up this leftover from a journal that I used this on a cover, and I just snipped it, you know, had to snip it down to make it fit on the cover. So I'm just trying to use up, because I have all sorts of remnants of this one left. So I think that's going to make a good kind of base layer on all of these. I don't know if I want to use it on everything, because I also pulled this pretty piece out of lace from my stash. And I'm thinking this one might look pretty hanging off of one of these. Ooh, maybe it'll look pretty on that one. So we'll put it on that one on the side. So we'll do that one next. And you don't have to decorate any of these if you don't want to. I just think it's another good way, just if you add just a little bit, you might be able to use up a little bit more of your snippets. These ones are so small right here. Somewhere I have some really small flower trim. Let me see if I can find that real quick. So yeah, I do have some of this trim in my little stash of snippets. So I think that would be perfect maybe for these 2 little ones right here. So let's cut these down. We'll add that to these. I think I'm just going to also add just a small amount of eyelash trim on those. So I can glue that underneath those. And on this one, I have some of this trim still left. And so I think I'm just going to put this one on the bottom. I like what that looks like. So we'll do that for this one. And then this one right here, for sure I'll add some eyelash trim to that one. On top of that little lace that I had. And then I want to add a flower or something. Some different little pieces. I also have some, like that one's kind of pretty, that came off of a dangle trim. So let's add that. So I'm going to go ahead and glue all those down, and I'll hold them up when I'm done gluing everything down. And if you wanted to, like if I was to use this in Happy Mail, I'd probably add a piece of bling or a flat back pearl in the middle. But since I might be using this in a journal, I'm going to leave it a little bit flatter. I can always add to it later if it does end up in Happy Mail. But that is what that one turned out. So I really like that one. And again, this one I just was adding this little piece here. So we're just going to put a little bit of glue across the bottom. I still feel like this one needs something more. Maybe just something down the middle. So let's add one of these pieces of trim right here. just going to glue that one right there, kind of in the middle. So I like how that one also turned out. So the next two are going to be quick and easy. That one I might cut a little bit of that eyelash trim off, but I'll get this one glued down first. And that's what those two look like. So then my last three, I said this one right here, I wanted to add this pretty little piece across the bottom, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I don't think I'm going to do anything else to that one, so I'm just going to leave it as is. Then I have these two. So I still have like this dangle piece that I could add to one of these. I think that would be beautiful. Let's add it to this one. I just got to see if I want... I think I just want just part of it. And that's the little topper on that one. So now we're down to the last one here. And so I do have some of this trim left from a previous project, so I'm just wondering if I could do something with that one on here. And that's what that one turned out to look like. So again, I'm just going to do one last spin through everything just to show you what they turned out. And this definitely, like I said before, is a perfect project for mass makes, also for getting rid of your little bits of lace. Of course, you can add the lace to the actual sample parts, but you can also use your little bits to decorate the tops of these. Here's another fun one. Here's the one that I had the little piece of material added in with it also. I love this one. This one's gorgeous. And then the one that I made with the rubber stamp set. And then just the last one with just a little bit of hint of a leftover like lace applique up at the top. And then all the little pieces that I stapled on. So again, I just wanted to thank everybody so much for watching today's episode, and hopefully you'll join me again for another episode of Little Bits of Lace 2024. And until then, have a wonderful day and happy crafting.